conference will now be recorded.
I want to say good evening to everybody. Thank you for your presentation. And I want to say welcome back to everybody. It's been a good holiday on Christmas and New Year's. So hopefully everybody had a great time and enjoyed themselves. And we're back and ready to get to work. So there's some things on the agenda here. You should have it before you. And just call the meeting to order. And if there's Patrick, we have a quorum.
Good evening, Chair Parker. No, you don't have a quorum at this time, but we can proceed with the meeting and see if commissioners attend. But I
Okay.
do want to note for the record, Chair Jackson is online.
Okay.
And so because we don't have a quorum, it's a little more informal. So
Mhm.
if he has any questions, he can still participate
Okay.
in that regard.
And if I may, Chair,
Yes.
two things. One, and get my own. Two things, Mr. Chair. One is that actually, as council knows, you might want to ask the chair if he wants to participate. 1 minute for that. Number two, Bill Johnson is coming. He's a little late. And I also talked to Commissioner Pitchford. She's coming. She's a little late. That's all.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. We cannot approve the minutes at this point in time because we don't have enough members for that. And good evening, Chair Jackson. It's on the call. Okay. Okay. And but I want to just say, I guess I've said it before, there are a few things that we gather around this table for. And one of the things we gather around is to support the housing authority in a way so that our citizens can be respectful of what we do. There are three things that they want us to do. They want us to work hard at what we do. They want us to respect their families. And they don't want us to waste time doing stuff that does not matter to them and increase what they're trying to do in life, their quality in life. And I'm all for that. So that's where we are. I'm excited about what's happening in the houses, Gilpin Court and Creighton and others. And we're getting houses and giving keys to people. And those are some exciting things. But I also realize that even as we do that, as we get these keys for people, we have to make sure that they have jobs and they're able to afford these units that they move into, and they can sustain themselves. I certainly want that to have a pattern that they will continue on. So one of the things that we'll be talking about also pretty soon is workforce development. I know we're partnering with the city of Richmond now, and that's a great opportunity to do that. One of the things I'd like to see come out of that partnering with the city of Richmond is we use more of their resources. And one of the resources I wanted to use is their workforce development group. And I think Mike knows that, what we're talking about with that. So I know you didn't expect me to talk that long, but anyway, I just had some things I want to share with you. And I want to let you know that we have a focus that what we're going for. And I'm excited about the projects that we have that are going to be presented to us today, and about the presenters that are bringing those things to the table. Do we have any citizens' comments at all?
No, sir. No citizens have signed up to speak.
Okay. Then I guess we might as well go right to comments by Steve. I know he's going to go and pass it on to you, Cheryl, but Steve, did you have anything to say at this time?
No, I just want to just echo your sentiments about 2026. We're expecting great things under your leadership. That's not putting pressure on you, because you're pressure on me, but we're expecting great things under your leadership. I think 2026 is going to be an exciting year.
Yeah. So Ms. Hampton, will you go ahead and take over for us, please?
Yes, I'd be delighted to. Chair Parker, let me say good evening to everyone here this afternoon. I'd like to call your attention to several things. I know we have the conduit bond program. I'm not going to forget that, but I want to share some things about your packets. You should have in there, and these are announcements. Now, the first thing is you don't have packets out because we email them to you. And I know that Chair Jackson ask that we, as we work toward enhancing our sustainable approach. But I think we have some packets at the back table if anybody needs one. But we emailed everything. And so, Chair Jackson, it is your decision whether you would like us to continue as we have in the past, or would you like us just to do electronic only?
Can I say something on that, if I may? If-
Chair Parker, Chair Jackson, Chair Parker.
That at a minimum, we gotta have the agendas up, but go ahead, sir. Because I can't read anything, I can't follow anything. Thank you for the side comment, but I got this myself. I'll talk to you about that later. Go ahead, sir.
And so does everyone have an agenda? No? We need some agendas. Okay. All righty. We will get that for you. We appreciate your indulgence with that. And it's Chair Parker. I got the name right. The second, and I mean no disrespect by that, Chair. I'm just so used to calling Chair Jackson. I'm having to get used to our change.
That's
So
okay.
please excuse me.
That's okay.
All
We're fine.
righty. We wanted to let you know that on January 15th, there will be a meeting with Mosby Court residents. And so I just wanted to know that that flyer is there. And if it is not in front of you, we will send that flyer out to you tomorrow. Okay, so that's on our Mosby Court South, January 15th, meeting at MLK School at 5:30 p.m. We are talking about the Tenant Bill of Rights, working with the Mosby Tenant Council and residents to craft that. So we are seeking input from them on Thursday. The next documents that should have been passed out at your station is a letter that says DNA, that's the Downtown Neighborhood Association, and an email, and I will get into that as I move to our conduit bond program and the public hearing associated with it. But just want to make sure that everyone has one of those. I think those are all of we have some other announcements, and I'll hold that and make that at a later time as we get to the updates for real estate. Right now before us, Chair, is the conduit bond program. We had a new application that came in. I'm happy to introduce to you Mr. Rich Devaney, and we have our bond counsel, Attorney Michael Graff, that's with us. But each of you received an overview of the proposed project. It is called Sevilla Residence. It's right at 115 North Jefferson Street, right here in the heart of downtown, and it is 48 units. I'm going to stop there, Mr. Delaney, and I'm going to ask if Ms. McCleary would pull up the presentation. Before Mr. Devaney comes, is there anything that you have at this time, Mr. Graff? Okay. You do that well and exceed me. So you have an overview that was in your packet talking about the breakout of the units and so forth. Mr. Devaney, if you will go through your presentation with us, and we appreciate you being here.
It is truly my pleasure to be here this evening. And, your opening comments, Mr. Chairman, about doing the people's work is, it's heartwarming. And I'm here to talk about a specific transaction, but I think, in the context of introducing our company, myself, my name is Rich Devaney. I'm a senior advisor director at Douglas Development Corporation. It's a DC-based development entity, and we are a very large East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, and North development company. Our presence in Richmond is, I would describe, impactful, catalytic, and hopefully contributing to the overall plan for the downtown Richmond area. We have undertaken a series of developments over the past 12 years, 15 years, most notably the Deco CNB building, creating housing, affordable housing, Stump Flats, Harper Flats, and Richmond residents down at 629 East Main Street. So we're right in the corridor of the downtown area, and the transaction that I want to speak to you about that's entering into the conduit bond facility is a very important one. It's not as large in scale as to the others, but we believe it's impactful in many ways. First, by the removal of blight. And this is a historic picture of the Sevilla Hotel, which was built in the 1920s by the Davis brothers. And our job, part of our development program, is the historic restoration of that hotel into what we call the Sevilla residences. So we have undertaken since the spring of 2025 a focused effort on the redevelopment of this property. And for us, and based on the feedback we've gotten from the city administration, activating this property is important, but what we do and how we do that is equally important. So we are targeting this as an affordable housing community, affordable at 60% or less of area median incomes. And we've assembled a development team that has experience, depth in management of affordable housing and the development of affordable housing. The uniqueness of this building is captured in our ability to harness that value through using historic tax credits. And this is registered on the National Registry of Historic Buildings. So with that, we have certain confinements and limitations. But if you could flip to the next page, please. So we've talked about the property. We acquired this in 2021, and it had been shuttered for several years at that point. And our job is to find value and create value. And as I mentioned, through our development planning and evaluation process, it was determined that pursuing this as an affordable housing project was the right thing to do. So we've made meaningful progress. We've gotten a substantial amount of our financing in place. We have approval through Virginia Housing for 4% low-income housing tax credit allocations. We have our low-income housing tax credit and historic tax credit investors committed to this. And the city, we pursued the city under the city's DHCD Equitable Affordable Housing Program, which this meets those constraints, and the city has committed $1.2 million. We want to be successful in this development, and we've reached out to community partners and the Downtown Neighborhood Association, and we're working collaboratively with them in getting this advanced. Our goal is to get the financing in place and to be shovel ready, thank you, and begin construction as soon as May of 2026. It's a short construction cycle, so by September of 2027, this will be up and operating and in lease up, if not occupied at that point. This is all within our development expertise, and our ownership is fully committed to this transaction. So if you could flip to the next slide. You know the location, 115 Jackson Ward. We can go to the next slide. Everybody's familiar with this. This is the typical floor plan. The development will consist of 48 affordable housing units, 36 studio, and 12 one-bedroom. We looked at different floor plan layouts, but with the historic restrictions, we're bound by the demising walls and the footprint. So we have designed these very efficiently. And I would say by comparison, the units we have at the Deco and Richmond Residence Building are of similar size with similar amenities. We are providing a full complement of amenities, a fitness room, laundry facilities, and we're going to finish this out as we do our other properties, which is, at the highest grade. You can go to the next one. So the rent profile is again affordable at 60% of AMI. The property will cover all the utilities. So the rents portrayed here are inclusive of all utilities. And that's kind of a schematic of one of the efficiencies and one bedrooms. You can go to the next one. It's a little bit about our development team. Peter Falat, architect, world renowned, has worked on our most recent redevelopment, the Dominion Tower building, has also done the Deco building. So very competent, very well qualified, has gotten us through the historic approval process with EHT, which is a women-owned business who we've used over and over again. Our general contractor is CBG Builders, and I want to make a note that as part of this application, we have sent an affirmative letter as it relates to minority business, MWBE, hiring and pursuits. So that's part of the overall game plan here, and CBG has experience in soliciting and managing through that process.
And that was shared with our Chair Parker and the rest of our committee
Great.
members. That letter, your letter of commitment.
Fantastic.
Letter of commitment around committing to our goals, our agency goals, was submitted in each of your packets.
Correct. No. Just to clarify, the woman-owned business is EHT Traceries. That's the historic consultant, woman-owned business. And Artcraft is not woman-owned, it's woman-managed. But again, as we're starting out in this effort, going through the process, we're going to be open up and pursuing holding the open houses and job fairs and pursuing strong MWBE participation.
You said that once the project is completed, you're going to send it out to, going to sell it off. Is that what you said?
Oh, no.
Once-
If I said
Once it's
that,
completed, what's the,
we will be in lease up. And with this project, and that's an important point I want to make everyone aware of. Douglas Development Corporation is a family-owned business. The second generation of the Jamal family are presently running the company. And we are very long-term, multi-generational holders of assets. So any asset we have, any developments that we have are owned and operated with a very long-term view.
Okay, great.
So from Douglas Jamal to Norman Jamal to Norman Jamal's children and thereafter.
Thank you so much.
So Artcraft is the resident property management firm that we will be using. They're locally based in close proximity. They have 4,000 units thereabouts under management, focus on affordable housing, resident management services, et cetera. So we feel as though we have, for the long term, position this property with the best of care. You go to the next one. It's just a little bit of background on Douglas Development Corporation and what we've accomplished and kind of a corporate status relative to size, span, scope of what we've undertaken. You can go to the next one. And these are our Richmond-based assets. The one notable that is not on there, because we don't want to jinx ourselves, is the 707 East Main Street, the Dominion building downtown, which we just closed on this past month, and we'll be undertaking a complete redevelopment of that, creating 280 multifamily rental units and 200 plus or minus hotel units. So again, I think if you look at Douglas Development, what we've done, Broad Street, Main Street, down this corridor, it's been impactful and significant. We want to continue that effort. And this is not the first time we want to visit with you all. We have other projects and properties that we're looking at and would welcome the opportunity, if successful, coming back and engaging through the conduit bond program.
Rich, I appreciate your presentation. I think you've done well with it. I'm always looking for visuals when we bring something. So I'm glad you brought it, and you brought a complete package here. There's not many questions you can ask about this. I thought it was a thorough job, and I like what you did to the CNB business bank building. You guys did a great job of that when you worked on that. Everything you've done, I've seen, has been first class, and so it looks like that's your way of doing business, and it's a family-owned business, so I'm glad to hear that too. And they're doing well with that. And thank you for the fact that you're saying, hey, we're going to look for goals for minority participation in Section 3 and inclusion. And you also said something about keeping local. I like the things that's in your package too, that we're going to keep local as far as our general contractors and as far as our businesses that we're going to be working with. So those are good points that we're certainly look for. Last point that you said good is you coming back here for more business in the future. I'd like to hear you say that too.
Well, what we found in the development business is when
Right.
you start addressing blight and buildings in disrepair,
Right.
it kind of feeds on itself,
Mhm.
whether it's by us or others.
Yeah.
They start to see that momentum and the scales tip, and creates more momentum and more intensive catalytic development activity.
There are quite a few buildings in Richmond that can be taken care of, and people can move into, and we can get some of the people off the street and the homeless people and housing people and affordable. There's a lot of work to be done, and certainly we can work together as a team. Thank you
Would
so
love to.
much. Any other commissioners have any comments? And thank you for your presentation, being here, Ms. Pittsford, Commissioner Pittsford.
Hello, sorry I'm late. And you might have already covered this in your presentation. What are you seeking? My first question, what are you seeking from the Housing Authority? Second question would be, are there opportunities for vouchers or this? And that's those are the two questions. Thank you.
I can try, and if I go off the rails, you can, please.
And good evening,
evening.
Commissioner Pitchford. In your packets, the overview of the project called for, they are seeking up to $8 million in conduit bond funds for the development or creation of 48 new units at the site that he's talking about. 48 new units, $8 million up to in conduit bond funds, and area median income, AMI, they go up to 60%. So they will be, and there is no project-based vouchers at that site. They have not applied. We have not placed any vouchers there. And
Okay.
we shared that in your packet with you.
Okay, and
If I may address the second part of your
Yes.
question, will we accept vouchers? Absolutely. We send a registration letter into the housing authority, indicating our registration and openness. We just have to open the building first.
Right, I got that. And what kind of barn is this? Can you explain and break that down?
Pardon me, we call it, the state calls it a conduit bond program, which means it's a pass-through. It's not our money, but we're the first stop. We're the first gatekeeper. We seek approval now, share it with this board, and should this board review and consider approval, it'll go to the full board. But the conduit bond program is mandated or legislated by the Commonwealth of Virginia, uh, public housing authority, redevelopment and public housing authorities have that. The governor puts an allocation for all housing authorities if they so choose to do this. And this is one of the innovative programs that we use to further affordable housing or to assist in furthering affordable housing.
Okay, that's what adds value to RRHA.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And the other thing is, we really want to have landlords to take our vouchers and
Right.
participate in our voucher program. And they are doing affordable units. So any of our HCV participants that qualify can certainly, and meet all the eligibility requirements, can certainly live there.
Okay, and what's the liability for RRHA, if any?
No liability for us because the state is who provides the funding and that bond closing, and that's the Department of how DHCD. So the state does it. City council has to approve it. If and when we do, city council is next up in the process. And this is certainly by no means RRHA was doing this type funding and offering this type investment for the since what 2016.
Okay.
And so this is not the first one we've brought already this year. We've just working with Attorney Graff, we've enhanced the process, and we are meeting a need in our community, and that's part of our mission.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, please. Is that
I'm not-
Commissioner Johnson?
Commissioner,
Jackson.
yes, sir.
Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Thank you for your presentation. Just curiously, how many of your projects, your affordable projects in the Richmond area are 2-bedroom or better?
The larger buildings have a small percentage of 2 bedrooms. I know at Richmond Residences, there are, I think it's 12% of the total 198 units are 2 bedrooms. The Deco CMB building, I think, is probably an equal proportion. What I might say anecdotally is our occupancy in each one of these buildings where we have studios and 1 bedrooms is highest in that unit type.
Yeah, I mean it meets all the guidelines. It fits. It's below the radar, and we're happy to assist. Um, I would be remorse if I did not have a focus of being able to really impact affordable housing for families. I know that this is up to 60%. There are studios and efficiencies, which really equivalates to your marketing, your target market students, grad students, or, because outside of that, you don't have enough space for families. Again, we are thrilled. If I'm very familiar from my days at CV Richard Ellis as a broker there with the Jamal Corporation. So, you guys got a lot of property up and down Broad Street. If there were anything that I could comment and have a wish list, is that it was more impactful for our housing choice voucher holders who may have a child or two. So if you guys, when you endeavor to come back to us, if you will look at a play that, you know, covers more of the broad spectrum of real affordable housing. And that's the only comment I have.
Our commitment, you know, should there be hopefully a next round with a project that's not constrained as much as this is by the historic preservation guidelines, we will obviously configure a unit massing and type that accommodates all family household sizes.
Thank you. And again, this is, you know, great project. I see how it fits. I'm a real estate guy. I really see this. But just want a win-win-win. You know, you win, the authority wins, and families can win. And I know that, you know, the sweet spot of downtown is, you know, efficiencies. You know, just an observation. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Jackson. One of the things I noticed also throughout the package too is that Davis Brothers has been noted in here as the original builder of this project, which is one of the first African-American contractors, largest in the city of Richmond, the state of Virginia. So we're proud to see that happen, that you're not letting this building go in demise, but bringing it back. And I'm sure that Langston Davis, if he were alive today, God bless him, he'd be happy to see it happen himself.
If I may comment, they did a real good build. That building is not moving. Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Brody, do you have anything or anyone else?
Chair, I have just one quick question. Is the lease up date the same date as the completion, or is that the occupancy date in Q4 27?
Completion date is targeted Q3 2027. And
Lease up. Was that the lease update, the completion date, or occupancy?
no, that's more or less, it's misstated. Occupancy would be stabilized occupancy.
Okay. So lease
So
up
that's
would
when
be
the building
Q3
would be full. Yes.
27. Okay.
And occurring prior to
Okay. Thanks.
release.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Rich. Ms. Hampton, do you have any other comments on that? Right.
Dedicated parking built in within creating a parking lot. So you are looking at existing surface parking.
We are, in fact, and we are surrounded within a 2-block radius with 7 surface parking lots. And we will continue to have outreach with them as we have in our other properties to come up with some accommodations, but we do not have on-site parking.
And then you also asked another question, Chair Parker. You wanted to know, we say it's 60% or up to 60% area median income, but a one-person household at very low, at 30%, would be $19.87 a month. $1,987.50 per month if you are a one-person household at the very low rate of 30%.
Okay.
So there's a wide margin there. It goes down and it goes up. So if they are participating in our voucher program, then they would be eligible to go in there, given other considerations based on federal regs. But from an income standpoint, they would certainly qualify. And that's not 60%. It can go all the way up to 60%, and 60% right now for a 3-person household is $61,320. So one thing this allows is um, a diversity in residency. You can have low and medium and go up to that 60,000, which could be working, but it also takes lower income. And you're going to participate. I see a hand from my colleague.
Thank you, Ms. Hampton. Here's a question I have. From my understanding, you guys are going to hire a property management company to manage the asset once it's finished its completion. And I'm just speaking because I hear a lot about a keen interest of housing, the housing choice voucher participants. So just my only comment is in regards to your suitability plan or your tenant selection plan for your residents, does RHA have a role in say kind of how you guys develop that tenant selection plan so we know that a lot of our voucher holders are second chance renters. So we just want to make sure that they will be able to qualify to get into this property.
I don't
Good
know
question.
enough about the complete RHA process, but I'm working with Ms. Hampton. Whatever the procedures and protocols are for screening and management, we will certainly comply with that. And our property management company, Artcraft, has experience with HCVs.
And so, Mr. Franklin, my colleague, what we can do is again have a workshop for all of our conduit bond developers that were awarded so they can understand. Mr. Franklin heads up. So there's a lot of interdepartmental coordination at an agency like this that's taking place. So he has under his purview, one of the divisions is the Housing Choice Voucher Program. So that is who you would work with to have inspections, to get your housing assistance contract, payment contract, and all of that. But we work together to get, and we'll be doing a workshop so developers can understand what they have to do to participate in our program. Is that Mr. Franklin?
That's accurate.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Mr. Franklin and Commissioner Pitchford, do you have any additional questions on the okay, no more questions. And Commissioner Brody?
Um,
Okay.
you said utilities would be included. Is that all utilities, some utilities?
The utilities as structured are electric and gas. The units are all electric, so all utilities are included in the rent.
Okay.
And that is a requirement under the low income housing tax credit program as well. It's the total housing cost,
Okay. So water is also included in that.
every utility.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes,
I may,
please.
just one
Mhm.
thing to you, Mr. Devaney. Right across the street is the Dominion. We're not gonna jinx it. We're gonna call it 707 and pray that it comes forward. I am correct. That's the building right across the street, right? Down a little bit, but it's not far from us. And you're talking about having a hotel there, and my colleague, Mr. Franklin, heads up the division. He falls within his department for resident services. We heard Chair our new chair here, Parker. I keep having a senior moment here, and I don't know why. I'm looking at you and calling you Chair Jackson, but it would really be good. In DC, we had a workforce development program that had an externship where our hotels gave folks, public housing residents that had gone through training. So Mr. Stuckey and Mr. Franklin we would want to look at that as that program comes online. So please keep those type of workforce development training programs in mind.
We certainly will, and the conversations we've had with the city writ large, the administration, have been holistic along those lines
Great.
about job opportunities and hiring practices, and
Yes.
we've gotten a lot of benefits, and we want to reciprocate to the fullest extent possible.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ms.
And
Hampton,
we'll be monitoring. We'll be monitoring. So,
I'm
and we'll
always
stay
looking
in touch.
out.
Mike knows, and we'll work with you. Miss Orsini is our procurement, director of procurement. So any contracting or subcontracting,
Mhm.
you will send, and that's who you can send to me as centralized, but then I will turn that over to Miss Orsini and her team, and they can work with you as well around where those holding those job fairs and getting folks signed up and what are your requirements for employment opportunities and such.
Ms.
Understood.
Hampton, not to hold us too much longer, but
Yes.
what does that workforce development look like that you're referring to at this point? Can you expand on it just a little bit?
Can at this time, because I have to respect my colleague and Mr. Stuckey, I just have thoughts in my brain that
Yeah,
I
I do
would
too.
like to
Okay.
share with them and
Mhm.
suggest as appropriate for us, has to
Okay.
be appropriate for us.
Mr. Franklin.
I can give an example.
Thank you.
Right now, HUD has released the Youth Build Grant, which is a grant that we can employ youth of public housing that has dropped out of high school, where we can assist them with either obtaining a high school diploma or a GED, as well as in tandem give them work experience, whether it's in constructions. For an example, if we redevelopment of Creighton, we can allow them to work at that work site to get real live training. We can train them in our IT department and so forth. So that as a example of that, we can assist our youth with graduating high school, getting their degree, as well as assisting them with getting work experience. So after they finish the program, they can help them better be more gainfully employed, as an example.
Well, that's what we're looking for. Thank you so much. Sounds like we have a plan, a great plan. And I'm excited about what you're bringing to the table and we're going to have to vote on it in a little while. But right now, I appreciate your presentation. Is that what all you have, Rich?
That is it. And thank you all very much again for the opportunity.
Mr. Chair, are there any citizens that may be virtual that want to have some comments
Yes,
on the
and Mr.
program
Jackson,
during the public hearing?
Bill, are you available to make any comments, Bill Johnson?
Oh, I'm here, man. I'm just trying to catch up, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Did you hear me?
We didn't hear you too clear, Bill, please.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to catch up. I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And Chair Jackson, what about you? Any further comments?
No, I made all the comments that I have.
Thank you so much. Okay. Mr.
Commissioner Parker, if I
Yes.
may, I just want to let you know, I think when you're talking to the commissioners virtually, you do have a quorum at this time.
We can circle back. around.
Yes, sir. If you want to circle back, we can vote on the minutes.
Okay.
And ask Commissioner Jackson if he wants to vote on the resolutions tonight as well. We can vote them in at this point.
Okay. Oh, well, so now that we have a quorum, I guess we can approve the minutes. Do we have to vote? Mr. Jackson in first and Mr. Johnson in?
We don't have to for Commissioner Johnson
Mhm.
due to his remote participation letter that he
Okay.
sent in. But if Commissioner Jackson would like to vote tonight, we can vote him in at this point.
Okay.
So
Commissioner Jackson, would you like to be voted in?
No, I will reserve my vote for the full board meeting next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
so
Okay,
we're ready to proceed with the approval.
please.
Okay. So for the November 13th, 2025 meeting minutes, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Brody, is there a second? Ms. Pitchford? Since Commissioner Johnson is participating virtually, we'll do a roll call vote. So Commissioner Parker,
Aye.
Commissioner Brody,
Aye.
Commissioner Pitchford,
Aye.
and Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Meeting minutes are approved.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're finished with the conduit bond. Oh, is there anything additional we need to do with that, Steve, or?
No, sir.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You would now move, sir, to the real estate development updates.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So now, sir, Mr. Chair, we will move to the updates on the Big Six and other real estate projects. The first up is Gilpin Court redevelopment. And on that subject, we all know that we had our Mayor Vula, come to the full board last year and laid out a great vision for redevelop of Gilpin and the partnership with RRHA and a broad sector of community stakeholders. And I'm happy to say that um, although we're, I guess, 1 week and 2 days into the new year and we're pushing quickly, I can tell you that we're moving on all fronts. And I'm here to report that I have had conversations with the mayor's top team, and we're trying to find some dates for this month, January, to move forward to see if we can then put the vision that he laid out in partnership with RHA again and all the city stakeholders and city council. We're going to set some dates up to take the next step in that vision. And so I will be reporting maybe next week at the full board meeting. I may have something a bit more concrete. I'm gonna wait until that time, but to note that we are focused with the mayor's team, and we'll be taking the next steps. The next
Thank
item,
you.
yep, sir. The next item on the update is Creighton Court redevelopment. And I'll have Ms. Sherelle Hampton give an update on Creighton Court.
Thank you so much. In our package to you and the narrative report, Creighton is at the new Purcell building. Phase A is 95% leased. So we wanted to make you aware of that. There are a total of 68 units. 65 of them have been leased up and folks have moved in. Phase B is 99% complete, construction complete. That lease up should begin once they finalize everything with our housing choice voucher program as it relates to their project-based vouchers. And they should look to start leasing up between February and March. So that's it for Creighton. I don't have any additional information on Creighton. Oh, we will be starting. Thank you, Mr. Nesmith. As I reported last month, we are looking to begin demolition. We talked with Chair Parker about an item that will come before the full board. Our external attorneys and the developer, the community builders, is working to have that resolution negotiated and to be able to bring an amendment at the full board meeting. So that's why it's not here now, Chair Parker and committee members. But we want to begin demolition of 16 buildings that are vacant at Creighton. So we will bring that back to the full board meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Hampton.
Mosby Court, if I may move on,
Please.
Mr. Chair Parker.
Mhm.
Mosby Court submitted their packet to the city for their zoning approval. We anticipated that having come up or would have been introduced last night. That has been moved forward. So I will update you all in February on that. I also wanted to note, I'm going to jump back to Creighton. We are going to have a meeting with the residents on update for relocation on the 27th. That is for Creighton, January 27th at 5:30, and you will get information about that. From Mosby Court, we are having a meeting, and that is the flyer here, and we'll send it back out to everyone else again on Thursday of this week, 5:30 to 7 and that is to work with the residents and tenant council on the creation of the tenant bill of rights. Remember, you all and our former mayor and this current mayor feel it, and President Newbill, it is vitally important, and that was a decision that you and the board and our CEO Nesmith wanted to continue for each of the projects, to have that input from the residents around the creation of a tenant bill of rights. So this is the second meeting. Thursday's meeting will be the second meeting for us seeking input and listening to our Mosby Court South residents. So I wanted to remind you of that.
Okay, thank you.
400 East Gray Street, we talked about and shared that there was a slight delay due to the historic preservation and the requirements and application for historic tax credits and the completion of the environmental. So that has been pushed back. We are looking at March 31, as Mr. Nesmith agreed with them. There may be other changes that will come up, moving that date back again a little bit, but we are working to negotiate that out for 400 East Grace. I also, in your packets, shared the outreach, evidence of outreach that we did. In the packet that was sent to you, we sent several documents. One was we had a virtual meeting on September 6th, I believe it was, early September. We sent notices, called all of the businesses around 400 East Grace. One of those businesses attended. So we wanted to enhance our outreach. We expanded the circumference around the project. We then went door to each of the businesses, the RECD staff. I'd like to thank Ms. Carter Walker for her work on that. She went door to door, carried an update, and we shared with you the copy of the memo that was sent. We also sent information to the Downtown Neighborhood Association, to Venture Richmond, and to the entity or group that does the artwork in downtown. So I wanted to again recognize Carter Walker, who is with us sitting in the rear of the room. She did a lot of, that project falls in her portfolio projects. And so she is very timely in her response. And so we wanted this committee and the board to know that, number one, we followed the procurement regulations of HUD and the protocols laid out by this. We sent out an RFP even before my tenure began, and you all approved a developer. People were given the chance to submit proposals. And so if someone didn't get in, as we well know, Ms. Orsini advertises broadly. So we wanted you to know that we will continue to do outreach as the project progresses. It will be ongoing until we begin lease up with that project. But it went through our agency's procurement process as it should. So that's all I have on East Grace, Mosby, and Creighton, unless there are any questions.
Mr. Chair, I have.
Yes,
one
please.
item to add. So as to the 400 East Gray Street, the good news is that as to 400 East Gray Street, the good news is in terms of having the developer in a binding agreement, I have signed the master development agreement. So that's another good step in going forward. I just wanted to make comment on that.
Thank you, Steve.
The next item.
And I want to thank those who went out and canvassed the community also for, just doing what we should be doing in the neighborhood anyway, just letting people know that there's an activity coming up, there's something that would affect you, impact your community. And we'd like for you to come out and participate, even though we only got, one or two people to respond. At least we did our part. Thank you so much for that.
The next item on the agenda, Mr. Chair, is the non-mile homeownership project. I want to note that it's not just a homeownership project. It is part one and part two. It is the first part of the project is on what's called the 2700 block. It is what is commonly referred to as a Sprout School. It is a school that will provide predominantly free education to low-income minorities there. And with that, at that site, there is a affordable rental portion of that project right down the street at 2800 block. That is the site of the homeownership portion. We will be making an announcement about both of these projects. It's one announcement. I think what's nice about this project is that not only will we be talking about affordability, homeownership, affordability, and rental, but we're talking education. As we know, for many years in our community, that the linchpin to upward movement has always been education. And so I think that that's one of the great themes out of this particular announcement. And we'll be looking to do this probably the end of February.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the Anna Cooper Julia School. Last year, when our current chair was chair of the real estate committee, and you, Chair Parker, asked me to find a couple of projects that would fit the definition of partnering with a nonprofit that offers a compelling community service to the community. We did that recently with the Boulevard Bank building, where they're going to be providing a safe place for young people and youth to get mentoring, to get resume writing, and we think that's important for that community, compelling community interest to that neighborhood. With the Anna Cooper Julian School, Anna Julia Cooper, that's right. It is not right. It's not. I was following what was written in front of me. Thank you, Commissioner Brody. She is two alumni, so that's what's so important. I'm glad you said that, Commissioner Brody. This school, let me say it again, Commissioner Brody, Anna Julia Cooper School. It's important to pronounce it right because they have been providing for a long, long time free private education for public housing residents in about 4 of our communities for a very long time. They've been using the building that and that's a compelling community service they've been offering in the big 6 public housing communities, right? We have success stories, and part of it, I think I talked with you, Chair Parker, when we make this announcement, we're going to bring back success stories, public housing residents, youth who've gone through that school and who've now gone on and been successful. So we won't talk about what they just did. We'll have testimony. We're going to bring them back. And who knows if we can find Commissioner Brody, they might make the film.
Yes.
But it's compelling. It's important.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you and then Commissioner Jackson say, hey, go out and find 2 projects. We won't stop here.
Yes.
But we want to say that we don't always want to look to have get some compensation when we look at the highest and best use of our properties or our structure. And this fits our mission. And I know you were so happy about that. And you want to take a few minutes to talk about this announcement.
Yeah, I'm excited about the fact that we're working in conjunction with the Anna Julia Cooper project. And I took a trip by there to see exactly where this was, because a lot of times I want to see where places are and see where this is happening, other than just run it by me or by the rest of us, and we have no idea where it is. So I went over there. It's a wonderful building and beautiful school. And I'm excited about the fact that we have some impact on it and we're doing things in conjunction with that. So we just couldn't get any better. And this other one with the boxing over there on Brooklyn Park Boulevard, it's a wonderful building that they have there too. And the fact that we did approve them to move forward with that project. So we're touching some lives. And I'm glad to see that. Ms. Brody, is there anything you'd like to say about this school since you did attend it, please?
Oh, okay. Anna Julia Cooper. My kids receive, I'm gonna say, one of the best educations. I have a 14-year-old that has been to Vermont, all expenses paid 3 times. She ate lunch under a waterfall. My oldest girl she won Bacado, she won Bacado, and she also won the Housing Authority scholarship, and I challenged that to AJC because they told them how to write. They make sure they get into good high schools. We have public housing students going to St. Christopher's, St. Gertrude's, is a private school, Christ Church is a boarding school. We have kids going to military schools that they make sure that they have everything that they need. Our kids are going to these schools and able to play sports through a program they have called Up RRHA. Like the parents, it's like you co-parenting with an organization. And I tell anybody, they have an open door policy. If you want to see the school, you knock, you give them your ID, you tell them who you are, they will let you in. You can see the education. I have a 5-year-old and can tell you the continents and the oceans and write in cursive. So when I tell people I'm very passionate about it, stop by, become a lunch buddy, get to know them. And the thing is, a lot of them are our babies. You have our girls, and we know how we are about our hair. Like we ain't even got to go there, but you have our girls swimming. And I'm not talking about treading water. I'm talking about swimming, diving on the swim team. And so it's like to see they teach them different sports other than basketball and football. Our kids are exposed to some things, and I'm just like, wow. They go hiking, and this is just PE. They went hiking in Pocahontas Park. They camped out at Pocahontas State Park. Who knew you can even do that? I didn't even know that was illegal. I said, y'all going to jail. But it's like, I call it a movement because I've been a parent there for a long time because my oldest girl is in her 2nd year at ODU. So now I have a little 5-year-old there, and it's the first time that I had a boy. They're teaching our young boys how to tuck their shirt in, wear a belt, make sure your belt and your shoes match. If you got on a red pair of shoes, your belt need to be red. And it's this little stuff that as a woman never thought that your belt and your shoes had to match. I'm like, put something on it, let's go. So yeah, AJC is something that I hold dear.
Thank you for your comments. I appreciate that. It's nothing like your personal having been there,
Right.
done that. And you can certainly have a comments that will go forward with that. You want to talk about Blackwell, Steve?
Yes, I'm going to defer to Ms. Sherrill about Blackwell. I'll probably add some comments because I do have some comments about it, but I'll let you start.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Nesmith and Chair Parker. Blackwell is moving. We have been closer than we've ever been. We did have a meeting in January since we returned, or December before we went out with HUD rep. The federal shutdown delayed their review. Our packet went in October, but with the shutdown, it delayed review. They have come back with some requests. We're going to submit those and get them to them. Instead of having one approval for the project in its entirety, it will be done in phases. So we are breaking that out to 3 or 4 phases as requested by HUD, but we are closer than we've ever been. Mr. Nesmith, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks. It's the first time we've ever been in 12 years. In October, they accepted our application. 12 years. But we know the deal is not done. In fact, I'm going to be making a trip, a personal trip to Washington, D.C. To see if we can get this done. Because if we can get it done, it will be one of the biggest things. So
Thank you,
I'm
Steve.
going to say prayerful. I won't say it will get done, but I'm going to take a trip to D.C. and we can get it, make sure we close out.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Ms. Sherrill, for your report. Let's do the section 3 now and the MBE reports.
Chair Parker, I have
Yeah.
one additional
Oh, please.
announcement, if I may, while Ms. Orsini is getting her report. wanted you to know, and many of you may have heard, that the city is doing a code refresh, zoning code refresh. We understand that PDR will be doing a meeting at Creighton, but we also feel that that is an important topic, and we want to share that with all of our big six. And so RRHA will be hosting other virtual meetings with PDR, and we'll be talking to them to explain that zoning code. And why is that so important? It may affect all of our developments and the neighborhoods that they sit in as it relates to zoning and how we undertake our redevelopment efforts. So it is critical that we want to make sure that our residents know about it and understand it. Thank you.
Ms.
Really important.
Ms. Hampton, what are the pros and cons of that? What are the negative impact that could be? For
Well,
our residents?
zoning runs everything. It tells you where you can build, what you can build, how tall, how wide, whether you can have mixed use, commercial, how big that space is, and things like that. So it really does. And we'll be sharing not only the information with our residents, I'm going to send out the information to those developers at Creighton and at Mosby Court South, and our developer selected at Gilpin.
Yeah.
So they will have this information, because we have 2 projects that are in the planning, and 1 project, the first bill at Gilpin, that's looking to start preparing their plans. So it's important. Thank you.
We have a meeting on the 17th, which is virtual, and they will be going over that. And I wanted you all to know that. And if you check out my Facebook, not trying to promote it, but if you check out,
Yeah.
right now I asked them to, but I didn't know what the thing. Yes. So it is the Saturday, which is the 17th at 12 o'clock virtually. So we have solicited a lot of the tenants, and so there a lot of the tenants, with the help of the informers, have really went out to make sure that the word got out. And we appreciate the informers helping with that, and the tenant council. We are truly grateful for them as well.
Madam Chair,
Thank you, Commissioner Pitcher.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's important as we're doing this code refresh that we do it, that RHA is a lead, that we do this together. I think it's great that you took the initial lead, Commissioner Pitcher, in that one. We have to make sure that all of these are done together. And we told Marion Pitts and those that it needs to be done together, and not sort of Mosby and then the next one. And so I've asked Ms. Sherrill to take the lead in making sure that all of these code fresh meetings by the city, they're all coordinated in one place. And I've asked Sherrill to take that lead role for the agency to coordinate all of them, so we aren't having one shot, because one affects the other. And it's part of actually the role that I've asked Sherrill to take in our development. So she'll be the person on that.
Thank you.
And you will include the RTO.
Everyone, yes.
Ms. Colleen?
Good evening, commissioners and staff. I just want to let you know, Mr. Parker, that when you got your email, I didn't realize I had some errors in my math on my original graph. So the new one is on the screen, and Logan will send it out to y'all once the meeting is over. So I just want to say that I hope everyone had a great holiday and is enjoying the new year. The committee had requested back in November to see a snapshot of the full 2025 spend and how much was paid towards the contractors. And so that's what you're looking at here. This is all of 2025 from January 1st to December 31st. So I created a new graph and a report for you that I hope you like and find easy to understand. I intend to provide you with all the information on one sheet featuring side-by-side comparisons between our goal spend, which is in red, and the actual amounts we paid out to vendors, which is in blue. The goals as set by the board are in the box to the left of the report. So that's the RHA goals, the MBE 30%, WBE 10%, Section 3 25%. The breakdown at the top of the page shows the total payments made during the 2025 calendar year. And based on all those payments, our goal was to have $14,331,614.58 go to these participants. During the 2025 calendar year, however, we exceeded these goals. This is despite you guys raising one of our goals on us last year from the MBE from 25 to 30. So, and if you look, you see, in fact, we almost doubled our goals. If you look at it, our total WBE for 2025 was 24%, and our goal is 10%. Our MBE is set at 30%. We're at 59.4% for MBE. And then Section 8, we're at 40%. So I think overall we've done a pretty good job last year. And we're really looking forward to exceeding those goals this year.
Any questions anyone have? I noticed that the Section 3 of the graph that I saw, the one that sent out to me, I'm looking at 1.09% above on Section 3. Is that right? Or what was the increase on Section 3? Because the goal is 25%.
No, it was on MBE we raised.
Okay, on Section 3, what is the goal?
That's 25, and that's the goal that is set by HUD.
So what did we receive, attain in Section 3?
40%.
40%? Oh, that's what you just said, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this graph is wrong, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we did well.
Yes, we are doing very well.
Yeah, well, that's good. I had some plans for some things, but I guess I kind of look another, but we can never look back. We need to continue to push forward and look for other opportunities. But I'm glad to see the Section 3 exceeding itself, and I'd like to see more. I don't know, Section 3 opportunities where we're putting up joint ventures and creating entrepreneurs and putting people in business for themselves and things of that nature. So I'm happy about Douglas being here tonight, and there's another opportunity for that too. But I'd like to see more people like Douglas come along and says, hey, I'd like to see our inclusion exceed where we are. So let's continue with that. But because if we're building these units in Creighton and Gilpin and Mosby and everywhere else, we want to make sure that the people are able to move into them. And the only way you can do that is have a job. You need a job. You need to be able to have a skill. You need to be able to afford those. And Patrick, you're going to show us a next meeting. Did you do that for me, or you don't have it now, do you?
So Commissioner Park, I think I was working with Logan, but we'll have it for the next.
That's good.
next
Have it
meeting.
for the next
And
meeting. That's fine.
Work with IT. I think the size of the video,
Okay.
we'll get it, sir.
Thank you so much. We want to make sure that we, it takes some training and it takes some reaching out. And I know a lot of times you have to identify a lot of the folks who want to move out, and some people will and some won't. But the ones that will and want to, we want to push them hard and push them right into these areas where they can create wealth for their families and generational wealth and houses that they can be happy with and pass on to their kids, because they can't pass on the houses that they're in now, but they can pass on these ones that we're producing for them now, because we give them keys to these houses. That's right. And we want to be able to pass them along. Is there anything else that you wanted to, excuse me? I know we're going to do the resolutions. Is there anything else anyone has around the table? Commissioner Johnson, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Is any comments you have thus far before we go to, I guess we're going to resolutions after this?
No, it's outstanding information. I think we're moving right along. I'm very pleased at what I hear from the bonds and the new school and what we're doing in Creighton. And you said a key word for me, keys. I love hearing that word, keys, because if we're talking about anything, it's talking about how can we get more housing built and keys in people's hands. So I'm really pleased at what I'm hearing tonight at
Thank
this committee.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Johnson. And thank you for your report, wonderful report for your whole year, the way you've been pushing hard and doing things along the lines of increasing these areas that you have with the MBE, WBE, and Section 3. I hear nothing but good things out in the community. So we're going to back to Patrick.
Yes, sir. You're,
Thank you, Patrick.
yes, sir. So the first resolution tonight, we'll have a public hearing session. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion to consider it. So the first resolution is the resolution regarding the issuance of multifamily housing revenue bonds for the acquisition, construction, renovation, and equipping of the approximately 48 unit Sevilla Residences multifamily housing facility to be located in the city of Richmond, Virginia. Do I have a motion to consider that resolution?
So move.
I heard Commissioner Brody first and then second by Pitchford. All right. So we do have to, and I'm going to turn it over to Sherrill. We have to have a public hearing to give the opportunity for members of the public to speak. I don't believe we have anyone in person, but do we have anyone online that would like to speak to this resolution? Hearing none, we can move forward to a vote. And again, since Commissioner Johnson is virtual, we'll do a roll call vote. So Commissioner Parker,
Aye.
Commissioner Brody,
Aye.
Commissioner Pitchford,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. This resolution will move forward to the full board next Wednesday.
Thank you.
The second resolution before you tonight is the approval of the assignment from Churchill North LLC to RVA Community Development Corporation as the tenant in the previously approved 9-mile home ownership project ground lease. Do I have a motion for consideration?
So move.
Commissioner Pitchford, is there a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Are there any questions to the resolution? And I know Mr. Nesmith, I believe, is able to speak on it if there is.
How long is the ground lease?
Uh,
I don't know. I believe the ground lease, maybe it usually runs at minimum, we try to do 15 years to be consistent with tax credit.
Minimum risk.
15?
Minimum risk.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Well, and I know Sherrill may have not heard the question. Commissioner Parker had asked how long the ground lease is for the 9-mile homeownership lots. And I know part of it's dependent on the construction of the homes. So,
Yes, it is. The ground lease stays in place until the units are sold. And then they will revert clear deed to deed and title, or deed, what do we call it here? The deed and title, okay, to the homeowner, the purchaser.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And we won't have anything to do with it at that point in time.
No,
Okay.
but they are some affordability. So many of them of the 10 have to be affordable. And we will be referring residents who may be ready either from our voucher program or our home ownership program, but they must go through the housing counseling and qualify by income. So we will be doing those things, and we will not recoup any payment for that until that house is sold.
Okay.
Is there a revenue stream to RRHA during that period of time?
Not
No.
while the ground lease is running, but once the sale is done, then there is revenue
Revenue
that
stream.
comes up. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. That's it.
And it wouldn't depreciate that much while
No, ma'am.
all that's going on.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because
Depreciate in value.
right, the depreciation wouldn't come until someone gets in the house. If there is such a thing with housing depreciating, normally they appreciate over time. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, sir. Are there any further questions? Hearing none, we'll move for a vote. So Commissioner Parker,
Aye.
Commissioner Brody,
Aye.
Commissioner Pitchford,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. This resolution will carry to the full board. And that is all your resolutions for tonight, Commissioner Parker.
Okay, thank you very much. Steve, did you have any further comments?
No, just as you put pressure on me, there's going to be a lot of pressure on your leadership. We're expecting a lot of you, sir.
That's all right. We're good. Any of the other commissioners, Commissioner Brody, any other comments or closing comments? Commissioner Pittsburgh, any closing
Only thing I
comments?
have is your leadership and guidance and all of the board members and our staff who work so diligently hard to
Yes.
to give us a good,
Yes.
accurate report.
Mhm. And
Commissioner Parker.
Chair Jackson, don't want to leave you out. Is there anything you'd like to say at a close?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Just real quick, Commissioner Parker,
Yes.
for your future meetings, are you okay with having the materials sent electronically and then we just have a couple on hand for viewing, or what would be your preference?
Yeah, but let me talk with staff because there's some minimal things that we must have
Mhm.
in front of us. And now if I can talk with staff
Okay.
and I'll get back with you.
You'll
on
get
that.
Is that okay?
We'll
Yes,
talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want
Thank
to
you
make
so
sure.
much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if there's nothing else before the committee and the board tonight, we're just going to be adjourned. Thank you so much for everything and have a safe trip going home. Those who have to cross Broad Street, do it fast.
So when is the next meeting? February the what?
February, right now it'll be February 10th.
February 10th.